Pigman 202 on the Empire versus Big JP on the Beastmen. Let's go. For the Chaos Dwarves, we do have Goblin Laborers across the front line, the Demon's Tongue, Iron Demon ROR, the Hashid Stark Ravagers, Bulls ROR, Ogilcon's Wolf Boys, Hobgoblin Wolf Riders ROR, then Blazing Beards of Bazarok, Chaos Dwarf Warrior ROR, and then an Infernal Ironsworn. We do have two Bulls in the sky. One is the Demonsmith Sorcerer of Metal with Final Transmutation and his Breath attacks for this Bale Taurus mount, and a Sorcerer Prophet of Fire with Fireball and Burning Head and the Breath attacks from his Bale Taurus mount. On the other side for the Beastmen, not nearly as many RORs. We have some Centaurs with throwing axes, 4 of them to be precise. A bunch of Ungor Spearman herds in the front line, Ungor Raiders in the back. More Centaurs regular style, 2 Minotaurs, one of which is the Butcher Scout Guard, the other one is the anti-large Great Weapon variant, and then a Traitor King caster on foot. I imagine the troop counts are a little different. Yeah, Allied's 999, and that's with 5 Goblin Laborers. That's just how small this Chaos Dwarf build is, really. Goblin Laborers charging in. The Archers should be able to take them out easily enough. But they would also just lose badly in melee combat with Ungor Spearman herds. Goblin Laborers are real bad at combat. They're only 150 gold, so, you know, it is what it is. But they're real bad at combat. There they go. Hashid Stark Ravagers, however, thinking about a downhill charge, then decide against it and are going to awkwardly walk away. But with 50 armor and no shields, they could take damage even from Ungor Raiders. So they'll have to be a little careful. Okay, they don't take too much damage on the way out. They're fine. Another Fireball. Tries to hit the Bray Shaman of the Wild. I'm not sure if it actually got through to him. It looks like it did, but the Centaurs were trying to block. There was the first Blasting Charge volley. I missed it, but the second one is going to come out right now onto these Archers. They're trying. There it is. These Archers are dead as hell. Oh! Goodbye. Infernal Ironsworn and the Blazing Beards both moving up. The front lines have engaged. Another Fireball. Still just trying to poke down this Great Bray Shaman of Wild. Without his Chariot, he has less armor and less HP. So he's already down to half HP from all of the poke. Meanwhile, the Chaos Dwarves are losing the front line pretty badly. Of course, they just had Goblin Laborers and whatever. We do have Infernal Ironsworn, who are about to be uphill charged by the Butcher Scout Guard. Not as good as a downhill charge, obviously, but, I mean, you're still charging them. You're armor piercing. You'll do okay. Hashid Stark Ravagers get hit with a Traitor Kin that was mostly meant for the Demon's Tongue, but the collateral damage he'll take. And more throwing axes are moving in just to throw at these very expensive units. But the Hashid Stark Ravagers get a downhill charge onto their Centaur cousins. And the Demon's Tongue ain't taking no shit. It gets a reforged heal from this hero caster, who throws down a nasty breath attack, taking a third of the Minotaur's HP with him. On the top side, however, Ogilcon's Wolf Boys are getting hit by a Centaur. That's really the first thing that's going great for the Beastmen here. Everything else has been going okay or badly for the Beastmen. I don't know what's happening to these Centaurs right now, but they're running around like chickens with their heads cut off, which was a little strange. Minotaurs with great weapons disengaged from the Blazing Beards, and they're trying to catch out the Demon's Tongue, and catch it they have. And even with the reforge it got, it's taking that much damage. Pigman is trying to recover the situation, though, by sniping the enemy caster, make it worth his time. In comes a Traitorkin undercast. Big JP realizes, he's like, listen, I just got to get out what spells I can right now, because this guy is pretty much dead. And he has done great at taking out that Demon's Tongue. If he can finish it off, then the second reforge from the Demonsmith Sorcerer will be worthless, because there's nothing else he can use it on. Like, literally nothing he can use it on. Not even, it's not a prime target. It's like, you can't. Quick Fireball cast, hitting the Bray Shaman who's running away. He has been having a tough go of things, but the Iron Demon is dead. Helping out a lot. And Hashid Stark Ravagers have also taken a walloping while we weren't looking. Looks like Archer Focus Fire plus Spears have done a number on them. Great Bray Shaman of Wilds shatters. He's going to die any second now, and that will hurt the Beastmen's leadership by quite a lot, but is it enough to even knock them out of this game? Because it feels like the Chaos Dwarves are also in a rough spot. They've lost a lot of their value. Hashid Stark Ravagers down to 1300 HP and falling as the Archer Volleys and the Throwing Axes continue to harass them down a little bit. The two big bulls have landed. They'll get charged by Centaurs and whatever, but the main concern is all this range pressure. Look at those Archers go. Look at these Throwing Axes go. And there's no healing left for the Chaos Dwarves because with the enemy caster dead, you can't get, you know, Blood Chalice healing or anything like that. So the Bale Tauruses are taking some damage. Nice downwards breath attack onto these Minos, but it doesn't do too much damage to them because they're just already such a depleted force. They don't really take anything from it. And the Butcher's Calvin Guard are charging downhill into the Demon Smith Sorcerer now. Another Fireball just to finally kill this guy once and for all. Lower the leadership of the Beastmen and get them to start routing away so that these big bulls can cycle charge their way to victory, maybe. But man, they're taking a lot of damage from all these throwing axes and archers that have been surrounding them forever. The Butchers of Calvin Guard caused terrorists. They're immune to it. And Pigman, maybe a mistake here, not going to go disrupt some of the ranged units. He's instead trying to 2v1 the Butchers for a second there, but that just means he takes a couple extra volleys for free. Yeah, he's going to keep doing it. He's really counting on the Blazing Beards and the Infernal Ironsworn to come here. The Blazing Beards still have a volley of their blasting charges, so maybe they can throw over here at these archers, but it looks like it's not coming through just yet, and his Demon Smith Sorcerer is taking a lot of damage. Does have missile resistance and a little bit of physical resistance, so I guess that kind of helps, but it doesn't seem to be doing him too much good in the long term. Beastman Kite is underway. Beastmen are actually up a little bit in balance of power, even with their Lord and Caster dead. Butchers of Calvin Guard are pushed off, however. Demon Smith Sorcerer follows them, though, both routing. And the Butchers will be chased off by this guy, but the longer that guy's busy and whatever, you could maybe have Centaurs throwing axes walking under this guy, doing more damage to him, or dealing with the Blazing Beards, who just used the volley and did a lot of damage to those Ungor Raiders. Thankfully for the Beastmen, the Ungor Raiders had used most of their ammunition and therefore most of their usefulness, but, you know, still a good volley. Still killed a ton of Ungor Raiders. Throwing axes, kiting out the Infernal Ironsworn, those armor-piercing weapons. Even though you're shielded, I mean, still, the armor-piercing shots are going to do good work. And now the archers are kiting around. Maybe they can shoot at the unshielded backsides of these Infernal Ironsworn. We will see. Demon Smith Sorcerer does manage to rally, but then Centaur's right underneath him, get a really good volley straight up, and push him right back off the battlefield once again. Archers firing into the backs of the Infernal Ironsworn. Getting good little poke damage here and there. Not going to be insane, but it is what it is. Demon Smith Sorcerer looks like he is dead. Yeah, he's gone. Blazing Beards have rallied some Goblin Laborers to them. Goblin Laborers literally don't matter. You can just kill them in the late game. It's fine. The only things that matter are the Blazing Beards, the Infernal Ironsworn, and of course, Sorcerer Prophet of Fire in the distance. Archers still firing into the elite Chaos Dwarves, walking straight towards them, but with Centaurs throwing axes behind them, unshielded and armor-piercing shots could do actually quite a lot. Looks like the Centaurs are throwing at the Blazing Beards or Goblin Laborers. It's really hard to get 360 shooting units to throw what you want to. Even if you take Fire at Will off, they'll sometimes just like throw at things that are nearer to them, even with attack orders. But these ones are actually going to peel the Sorcerer Prophet of Fire. Ungor Raiders are going to use one last volley onto him. They know they're doomed. They know there's nothing they can do, so they at least want to shoot him on the way in. And other archers are still kiting out against the Blazing Beards and the Goblin Laborers. Centaurs are throwing axes, trying to repeat what they did to the Demon Smith Sorcerer, though. They're trying to get underneath him so he can't dodge their shots as effectively. Unfortunately, they throw a little bit early. Still some hit, but he is dodging. They have to get right underneath him, which Big JP is trying to do, though he is proving to be rather squirrely. 3,000 HP left on him. More Centaurs are kiting around. Blazing Beards have taken some damage, but they use the last of their blasting charges onto an Ungor Raider that has significantly more ammunition than last time. And this guy lands into the Centaurs, trying to just take the fight with them. He does burn them with Burning Head, terror routes them away, trying to push them off the battlefield. It looks like one of them might go that way now. It is just a terror route. They'll rally any second now. But can he get them off the battlefield? No, it looks like this one's just kind of confused for a second, but it will rally in time. Other Centaurs with throwing X's are coming back too. This one turns into a natural route, though. This one is also going to naturally route, so those two are both going off the battlefield with some throwing X's left in the tank. But he's on the ground now, making it much harder for him to dodge these other volleys coming in. Looks like he's going to duck and dive his way around, though. He'll be okay. So big trades for the Chaos Dwarves. All of a sudden, they're ahead on the balance of power. The Sorcerer Prophet of Fire is still just dancing as best he can as these Centaurs close in on him. The Archer with the most ammunition is having the hardest time rallying. Still have some Infernal Ironsworn, we still have some Blazing Beards. Centaurs throwing axes, only 2 and 5 volleys left. And do they want to use it on the Blazing Beards and Ironsworn, or do they use it on the Lord? That is the tricky part. Ungor Raiders look like they're not going to rally. They're getting to the edge of the map, and the Goblin Laborers are still chasing them, so looks like they'll take that ammunition with them to the grave. Centaurs throwing axes, throwing some axes at the Blazing Beards on their way past. And they might have to charge up here and knock out these Goblin Laborers to give the archers a little bit of room to shoot. This other archer with 3 volleys left is currently stalked, so maybe Pigman doesn't know it's here. The Goblin Laborers are trying to reform lines. Ungor Spearman Herds run downhill to challenge the Blazing Beards. And now these archers get into range. He's starting to juke again, though. Takes about 100 HP for his trouble. And the Goblin Laborers on the high ground are shattered off. I hope none of those throwing axes are getting thrown at those shattered goblins right now. 360 units are so weird about that sometimes. Downhill charge on the Infernal Ironsworn. Take a nasty 200-ish HP on the charge, but there's a big breath attack down the side. Thankfully, it doesn't hit the Centaurs, and then JP is going to dodge through the Infernal Ironsworn, who are knocked down so they don't hold the Centaurs in place, dodging out that Burning Head. Pretty beautiful play there from both sides. I saw what Pigman was attempting, but JP with a really, really good dodge just negates it, but he was trying to bait in both those Centaurs and end this thing. Archers using their ammunition on the Blazing Beards. But looks like the Sorcerer Prophet has landed. Do they turn their attention onto him? They do. One of them only has one volley left, but they're going to do their best. Their leadership is faltering, even though nothing bad is happening to them, though. Centaurs with their throwing axes still running around. 5 and 1 volleys for them, as they have been for a while, but the Blazing Beards think about routing. All of a sudden, a big throwing axe volley in from these guys. Does a little bit more damage. The Blazing Beards do manage to rally for now. Take a charge in the face. Do they rout or do they not? 2,500 HP on the Sorcerer Prophet, who has just been dodging his ass off all game. 2 volleys left on that Archer, 0 on the other one. It's now just a half-assed melee unit. The Centaurs throwing axes fall back. Only one of them even has throwing axes anymore for their namesake. Looks like they're both going to charge in. I don't know if he can dodge this Burning Head this time. Looks like he starts to, but the Burnt Leadership debuff will be enough to tear out off the only throwing axe with any ammo, and that will probably cause army losses in a very, very close scrap, where both sides actually played really well. A lot of good mechanics here. Good job, lads. Good job. For Pigman, his lore did great. His Demons with Sorcerer honestly didn't get that much done, but it's pretty whatever. Hash's Dark Ravagers and the Iron Demon also shut down, but the Blazing Beards and the Infernal Ironsworn did fantastically well. For Big JP, his Traitor Caster did his best just by getting fireballs sniped all game. Minotaurs and the Butcher's Count Guard did okay. Centaur's throwing axes, not as much value as you would think considering how long you kept him alive, but a lot of those throwing axes just missed the giant flying bulls and whatnot. Archers did okay, Centaurs did okay, Hungry Spearman Herds did fine. GG. Roar.
Subscribe, yes, yes.